All right, so today we're gonna make some chili. Now, anything with cooking comes down to all the individual ingredients coming together to create something fantastic and delicious. In this case, deadly and delicious. So our protein is going to be this delicious elk. Yes, elk. We crossed paths in the beautiful flat plains of Marathon, Texas, and this is some of that ground meat from that. I'm also going to put a little bit of moose sausage in there, but ingredients are pretty simple. Tomatoes are base. Good protein source, wild, fresh, adds kind of the good flavor, and then the beans are the expected texture that goes along with the chili. We're gonna try to do all of this in one pot. And that's the pretty awesome part, is that cleanup is super easy. Once we get all of the respective ingredients in the bowl, garlic, onion, pan sear those, saute those, and then I'll throw in all of the protein, the moose and the elk, and then you just let it cook. The longer you cook, the longer it cooks, everything congeals and gets together and like cross flavors and softens, So I'm gonna start warming this thing up, put in some olive oil so I can saute the onions and the garlic, and then we're off to the races. There we go. The moments of cooking, that's fun. You get to stab, smash, slash, or attack something. So this is a Texas sweet onion. Doesn't make you cry. Not that I would ever cry anyways. Not too small. You say, why are you using a fighting dagger to cook? Well, when you're in the kitchen, maybe you have to fight. You never know. Always be ready. So I'm just waiting for that oil to get nice and hot. I'll put the onions in. I mean, truth be told, I would do all of this cutting with a battle axe if I were allowed to, but trying to get as much of this in the pot as we can. About to go run and do a workout. So if we hear a helicopter land, that means that it's time to go work out. Little tiny slivers of this guy is just gonna get crushed. So with all of our canned stuff, except for the tomatoes, you're going to drain them. You have to excuse my voice, by the way, if it sounds like I'm kind of hoarse. I have been on the shooting range for the past 3 weeks screaming over the sound of gunfire, so my vocal cords are on rest and recovery right now. Ooh, now, that smells good. Yep, Yep, we'll just get that going right there, looking fantastic. I think there's some competing thoughts on when to add your salts. I like to put all of my flavor and all of my spices, all of my herbs in as soon as possible. I mean, the only things that you could add later, that could burn, like flours or sugars, then, which clearly you don't need to do with the proper chili. Oh, look at that meat. Look at that meat. Absolutely gorgeous. Red, bright, delicious. You want everything to brown at the same temperature. The direct center of this elk wasn't fully thawed. So I'm trying to break it up so it can all get that radiant heat a little bit easier. Oh my goodness. The smell of this elk. It's not gamey. But look how it just like browns up perfect. Look at that. One of the keys with the meat is you have to make sure you have a hot enough temperature where there's no moisture that is cooking in with the meat. You want all the moisture to be cooking off, that steam, so there's like nothing like boiling in the pan. Nobody wants boiled meat. Nobody. Cannibals might, but no. Pull those out. Oh man, Doug, look at these things. Pretty freaking good, huh? So I'm adding sausage, which has plenty of salt in it. Here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of coarse, kosher salt, and then plenty of cumin. So because it was smoked out there, right, you get this kind of charred, smoked exterior to the sausage, but that all gets tender the longer it sits in there, and all those little bits end up being really good flavor. Now we gotta add our tomatoes. What's that sound? Helicopter. Diced green chilies, crushed tomatoes. So a lot of the moisture inside the tomatoes and the onions and the beans are gonna get pulled out as it starts tenderizing, and you're gonna get a little bit more of a chili consistency. So now really, we gotta do, oh, let's not forget our smoke. Liquid smoke, delicious. Now, it's a waiting game. We cut the heat and just let it start cooking together. We'll check on it in a couple hours, see how it's doing. Low for 6.5 hours. Great things. All right, let's go work out. All right, so things have progressed as planned. This is what happens when a perfectly executed plan comes to fruition. All right, we're gonna start prepping some of the accoutrement. Good cheddar cheese, some green onions, chives, and then we have to make our cornbread muffins. I'm gonna hit the easy button for that. Oh wow. Let's get some of this. Yes, yes, yes. What if I was like, hey man, you can't have dinner with us?
I would start crying.
Is it weird that I only want to use like dangerous, deadly, devious knives for everything that I do in here? No, totally normal. Just a good cheddar. Now I think I was told somewhere that they use the same preservative that they put in yoga mats for shredded cheese, so I never like buying shredded cheese. While it takes a little bit of extra work, and yes, you have to clean another thing, I don't want to eat a yoga mat. I don't think any person wants to eat a yoga mat. So just shred your own cheese. It's worth it. So is hunting. One of my favorite things is it looks like that sausage, that moose sausage has been absorbing like a sponge. Yeah. Let's see once this gets in the bowl, how long it lasts once my son comes in here and tries to eat all the cheese. It's like, oh look, cheese, I'm gonna eat it. No, it's for dinner. Yeah, I mean, that's half the battle right there. You can put this cheese on anything and it makes whatever you're eating better. We're good to go here. That chili is done. Now we just gotta let it, well, I mean, I don't want to eat something that's 235 degrees. This chili, the big moving pieces of this chili came from my dad, Mike Kennedy. My dad, Mike Kennedy, won numerous chili cooking contests with this same recipe, but what he didn't have was, that's right, Texas elk. And that's what we have, which I think is a superior protein than that fatty peasant beef that he would eat. Yeah, I mean, he would, I'm not talking just the local fair and the church chili cook-off. I'm talking like regional, big time events. That's what this chili has gone up against. Some of the big bangers in the chili cook-off industry. Is that an industry? So this one came from Betsy. This one came from Regina. This one came from the beautiful and famous Christina. And this one's extra special. This came from Linda. These are fresh. I mean, these eggs are from yesterday morning. Milk, eggs, and oil. Pretty straightforward cornbread recipe. Look how pretty that is. I just love the yolk color that comes from real free-range chicken eggs. And that's it. Okay, let's give this. Oh, see, look at the top of this. Absolutely perfect. Almost like a gravy. It's funny, I haven't even tasted this yet. Oh, there's my big old clump of garlic right there. I'm gonna go ahead and eat that before my wife comes in here. See the steam? So the steam is the moisture cooking off of the waffle. And what you want is a crispy on the outside, but nice and tender and moist on the inside. So as soon as you see the moisture stop cooking off, that's the steam. That's the time to pull it out. All right, so I'm gonna drop the ingredients right here for you to see, but generally what we have is our tomato base with a variety of beans, to include chili beans and kidney beans, chili black beans. Sometimes I'll even use white beans just to add a little bit of color and flavor. Then we have diced green chilies, smoke, cumin, chili powder, kosher coarse salt, and the two most important things, elk and moose. That's right. Now, this is deadly and delicious. 1, finding the animals, very deadly. 2, undeadly. 3, this is gonna be delicious. So, bon appetit, stay safe, stay free. Yeah. So good. It is so good.